Everyone is afraid of aging. Li Jie is no exception. He was the most dazzling star in Hollywood. In order to return to the glory of the past, Li Jie injected mysterious substances. Soon he felt dizzy and fell directly to the ground. Then he made a painful sound on the ground. The back began to bulge, as if something was moving. The pupils also began to split, and the small pupils left the eyeballs. Then the back split in the middle and strange changes occurred in the eyeballs. A hand came out from behind. Soon a delicate little hand appeared. He slowly walked to the front of the mirror, wiping off the fog on it with his hands. A beautiful face appeared in the mirror. He couldn't believe his eyes and kept admiring himself in the mirror. He looked carefully and found green light in his eyeballs. At this time, he noticed Li Jie lying on the ground. He took a needle from the side and sewed the back of Li Jie. Then he inserted a nutrient solution and twisted the switch. With the injection of the nutrient solution, Li Jie made a sound in his mouth. After the wash, he quietly admired himself in the mirror. Now Li Jie has inherited all of Li Jie's memories, but he has his own independent personality. Suddenly he had a headache, and blood dripped on the wash basin. Li Jie looked at himself in the mirror. He hurriedly opened the cabinet, took out the equipment, and inserted the needle into Li Jie's body. He had 7 stitches. Then he took out another one, put it into the injector, and injected the stabilizer into the body. As the pupils shrank, his body was back to normal. At first, Li Jie was the host of a beauty show. On his 50th birthday, he was told that his show was going to stop. On the way, Li Jie was in a daze. He found that the staff was removing his own advertisement sign. At the moment he passed out, he had a car accident. Fortunately, his body was fine, but it was difficult to hide the sorrow in Li Jie's heart. The doctor left in advance. Li Jie, who was about to get up, was pressed by his assistant, saying that it was just a test. Then he took out the hearing aid, leaned on Li Jie's back, and listened carefully. Then he pressed Li Jie's spine and measured it carefully. Li Jie thought that something was wrong with his body. His assistant said that his body was fine and that he was a good candidate. Li Jie was very confused. On the way home, he found something in his pocket. He opened it and saw a USB flash drive. When he came home, Li Jie inserted the USB flash drive into the TV. There was a video in the USB flash drive. The video showed that as long as he injected a needle, he could unlock the DNA and start a new cell and become a better self. Li Jie didn't think about it after seeing it and threw the USB flash drive into the trash can. Li Jie, who was drunk at the bar, went home. Looking at his ugly self in the mirror, his heart was shaken. He dialed the phone of the merchant and received the card number 503 soon. According to the address, Li Jie came to the abandoned warehouse. Finally, he found a roll door. He put the card on the card reader and slowly opened the roll door. Li Jie carefully dug in. He came to a white room and found the cabinet number 503. He opened the cabinet with the card. Li Jie took the box home. He opened the box. There were green pharmacological needles and sewing needles. There was also a set of extraction equipment marked with the words 1 to 7. There was also a bag of needles and 2 packs of nutritional supplements. Finally, there was a sheet of white paper. It said that you could only activate it once. You were stable every day. Switch once every 7 days. Remember, you are the only one. Li Jie took off his clothes according to the requirements. Without hesitation, he injected the green medicine into his body. Finally, Li was born. Li has the same talent as Li Jie. Soon after, he went to his company for an interview. After the interview, he was conquered by Li's figure. The boss of the company was shocked soon. The boss was very happy to see Li. He decided to give him a show alone. Li showed a happy smile. He asked the boss to take care of the sick mother every 7 days. Looking at the beautiful and touching Li, the boss agreed on the spot. The perfect and sexy Li soon became the focus of the company. He kept paying attention to the stable machine. 7 days later, the first exchange between the two came. As the blood flowed in the needle tube, Li woke up from a coma. He was envious of Li. The next day, Li went to the company with sunglasses. As soon as he arrived at the company, he saw the boss holding his things. He came to him and couldn't wait to put the things into his hands. He said goodbye to him very happily. Li came back home and did nothing. In the 7 days, except for going to the warehouse and looking for the necessary nutrients, he stayed at home for the rest of the time. 7 days later, Li's career developed smoothly and was very popular with fans. At this time, Li thought that if his family came and saw Li lying on the ground, it would be troublesome. So he decided to open a secret room. A loud noise alarmed the neighbor next door. But the angry neighbor saw the young and beautiful Lee turned into a sweet dog. Then Lee opened the door of the secret room and dragged Lee in. He also dragged Lee's portrait out and changed into his own. The 7-day period was coming. But Lee went to the sports car and went out with the rich. He also took the young and beautiful Lee home. Just as they wanted to take a step closer, the time came. Lee was in fear again. Selfishly didn't care about Lee's safety in order to satisfy his selfish desire. He removed the stabilizer from his body. The next day, when Lee woke up, he found that there were wine bottles on the table, a wolf mark on the ground, and a helmet left by the window. He slowly walked over and wanted to take off the note, but he found that one of his fingers had completely aged. He was terrified. Lee realized that it must be caused by Lee. He was busy answering the call of the merchant and asking if there was a way to recover. But the merchant told him that this situation was irreversible. Lee wanted to terminate it, but he looked at the TV and saw a dazzling smile. He hesitated again. When Lee was eating in the restaurant, a strange old man said hello to him. Just when Lee was in doubt, the old man's wallet fell to the ground. It was a 207 card. Lee looked at the scar on the old man's back and remembered the assistant he met in the hospital. The old man asked Lee, "Did he start? Do you want to eat you?" Lee was stunned after hearing it. He hurried out of the restaurant and ran away. Lee ran into the news on the road. Looking at the helmet on the ground, he understood that this young man was the one who stayed in his house. When he came home, Lee turned over the box and knelt down. He shook the wallet and dropped a piece of paper from it. He took the piece of paper in his hand. "I'm sorry. I'm not a good person. I'm a bad person." He put the piece of paper in his arms very excitedly. And this piece of paper was left by his classmate not long before. He called the other party. They agreed to meet tonight. So Lee chose her most beautiful clothes. She wore sexy gloves and a gorgeous lipstick. Looking at the time on the wall, Lee tidied up her clothes. When she was about to leave, she found that the door of the room was not closed. Looking at Lee's delicate face, she felt inferior. She came to the mirror again and looked at herself in the mirror. She was always dissatisfied, so she took out her makeup bag and dressed up again. She took out the key. When she was about to go out, she saw Lee's huge poster again. She felt inferior again. She came to the mirror to dress up again. When she wanted to go out again, Lee's figure always appeared in her mind. She never showed the courage to open the door. When Lee came back to the mirror again, she wiped off the lipstick angrily and tried harder. When she was about to go out again, she was still in the mirror. She couldn't even open the door. Lee was happy to come to the company, but the staff told her that the TV had been canceled. She came to the boss's office. The boss told her that she couldn't let her take part in the morning show. The boss suddenly smiled. Because the official's office, the audience's love for Xiaoli decided to let Xiaoli host the New Year's Eve party, which is the biggest show on the internet. Xiaoli was very happy to hear that. Because of Xiaoli's fire, the work was getting more and more busy. In order to prepare for the New Year's Eve party, Xiaoli broke the rules again. Crazy to understand. When she woke up, she found that her left leg had aged and her hair had turned gray. The side of the face quickly fell old. Sister Lee was angry and communicated again. The businessman's phone. He told the businessman that Xiaoli had stolen a lot of time, not considering the consequences at all. "Can you stop? Stop. You are the Matrix. If you are not satisfied, you can end this thing and be only you. All alone. Would you like to stop? Can it be like it was before? What has been transferred cannot be reversed. But you can end the whole thing right away. Would you like to stop, go back and be only you again?" "I can't stop." Sister Lee was completely lost in the power. She wanted to stop but couldn't. When she saw Xiaoli laughing at the show she used to host on TV, Sister Lee broke out completely. When Xiaoli woke up, she saw the room full of dirty dishes. The table was full of leftover food. She was so angry that she didn't hesitate at all and sucked Sister Lee directly. Xiaoli lived very freely for 3 weeks. During this period, her popularity exceeded that of Sister Lee. She also dated a rich boyfriend. When Xiaoli withdrew again, she found that the stability fund was black. She called the businessman in a hurry. The businessman told her that this meant that you had reached the end. You had to exchange immediately, but her boyfriend was in the house. Xiaoli didn't want to exchange at all, but her body didn't allow it. She had a second choice. Her boyfriend heard the movement and went to check. She just wanted to go in but was blocked by Sister Lee in time. At this time, Sister Lee was completely lost. She was so angry that she scared Xiaoli's boyfriend away. She called the businessman again. The next day, Sister Li covered herself with heavy clothes. She quickly went out and took the paper napkin from the warehouse. She dragged Xiaoli to the living room, took off her headscarf and glasses, took out the paper napkin from the pocket, opened the package, took out the needle tube, put the needle in, and inserted the needle into Xiaoli's body with force. Just when the termination plan was about to end, Sister Li wavered again and remembered the good old days. You have to finish it. It's important. This is our great work. The work is important. Life is not that incredible. So she took the exchange plan from the cabinet again. With the blood injection, Xiaoli woke up. But Sister Li didn't go to sleep. Xiaoli looked at Sister Li in horror. She couldn't understand it at all. Until she saw the termination plan on the ground. She thought that Sister Li was going to kill her. So she was angry and ran to Sister Li. In the end, she killed Sister Li alive.